During the stormy years of the American Revolution, while names like George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Benjamin Franklin became etched in history, there were many others who fought, struggled, and sacrificed in silence. Their names may not appear in school textbooks, but without them, America's fight for freedom might have ended very differently. One of these forgotten heroes was James Armistead Lafayette, a man born into slavery who used his courage and intelligence to help shape the destiny of a nation. James Armistead was born around 1748 in Virginia. As an enslaved man, his early life was defined by hard labor and the painful reality that his freedom was not his own. But beneath that quiet exterior was a mind as sharp as any general's and a heart burning with a desire to be free, not just for himself, but for an entire people. When the American Revolution began, James saw something powerful in it, a chance for change. Though the words freedom and equality were being shouted across the colonies, those ideas did not yet apply to men like him. Still, he believed in the cause, hoping that the fight for liberty might one day open the door for his own. In 1781, as the Revolutionary War raged on, James was allowed by his enslaver to join the Continental Army. He was assigned to serve under the Marquis de Lafayette, a young French general and close ally of George Washington. Lafayette quickly noticed that James was intelligent, observant, and remarkably brave. These qualities made him perfect for a dangerous but vital role: espionage. The Americans were desperate for reliable intelligence about the British forces. General Charles Cornwallis and his troops were strong, disciplined, and well-equipped, but their movements and plans were often a mystery. Lafayette and Washington needed someone who could slip behind enemy lines unnoticed, someone who could listen, observe, and report back crucial information. James volunteered for the mission. His task was as perilous as it was brilliant. Pretending to be a runaway slave, James infiltrated the British camp. The disguise was convincing. He played the part so well that the British officers accepted him without suspicion. They believed he was a loyal servant eager to escape his American masters. James was assigned to work for the British General Benedict Arnold, the infamous American traitor who had defected to the British side. Later, James was placed in service under General Cornwallis himself. In his position, James had access to vital conversations, troop movements, and secret strategies. But his true genius lay in his ability to remember everything: maps, troop numbers, and even letters that passed through the camps. Every bit of information he gathered was secretly passed along to the Americans. He played both sides perfectly, gaining the full trust of the British while feeding their plans straight to Lafayette. The risks were enormous. One wrong move, one careless word, and James would have been executed on the spot. But he carried out his mission with courage and precision, motivated by a dream of a free America and perhaps a hope that one day he, too, might share in that freedom. His greatest contribution came during the Siege of Yorktown in 1781, the decisive battle that would end the war. Cornwallis had chosen Yorktown, Virginia, as his base, believing it to be a safe position. But thanks to the intelligence James provided, Lafayette and Washington learned of Cornwallis's plans and troop placements in detail. James's reports allowed the American and French forces to coordinate a massive siege, cutting off all British escape routes by land and sea. Cornwallis walked straight into the trap. The siege of Yorktown lasted for weeks, and when the smoke cleared, the British army was defeated. Cornwallis surrendered on October 19, 1781, effectively bringing an end to the American Revolution. The victory that secured American independence owed much to the bravery and intelligence of a man who, at the time, was still enslaved. But after the war ended, James's struggle was not yet over. Despite his enormous contributions, he returned to Virginia still in bondage. The freedom he had helped secure for millions had not been granted to him. It was a cruel irony, one that reflected the contradictions of the young republic. Yet Lafayette, the same general who had once trusted James with his life, did not forget him. Deeply moved by his service, Lafayette wrote to the Virginia legislature on James's behalf, testifying that he had been instrumental in the success at Yorktown. With the general's support, James finally gained his freedom in 1787. In gratitude, He adopted Lafayette's last name, becoming James Armistead Lafayette. As a free man, James lived quietly in New Kent County, Virginia. He purchased land and lived out his days in peace and dignity. Though history largely forgot him, his courage left a mark far greater than any medal or monument could capture. He had risked everything for a country that did not yet see him as equal, believing that freedom, true freedom, was worth any price. James Armistead Lafayette's life is a reminder of what heroism really means. It isn't found only in grand speeches or on famous battlefields. Sometimes, it's in the silent, unseen actions of those who work in the shadows, whose bravery changes the course of history without ever demanding recognition. In today's America, his story still resonates. It speaks to the power of faith, loyalty, and intelligence, and the idea that greatness often comes from the most unexpected places. James wasn't born a general, a statesman, or a soldier of rank. He was born a slave. Yet through courage, wit, and unwavering conviction, he became one of the most important spies in the American Revolution. Every nation has its unsung heroes, those who fight not for fame or glory, but for the hope of something better. James Armistead Lafayette was one of them. His bravery helped build the foundation of a free America, even before he himself was free. And that makes his story not just one of war and espionage, but one of justice, perseverance, and the enduring human spirit, the very spirit on which the United States was founded. Would you like me to turn this same story into a YouTube voiceover script, with cinematic pacing, emotion, and pauses, like a documentary narration? It would sound perfect for your The Most Theory channel.